Chovy is undeniably one of the greatest mid laners of all time, and definitely right now, in my opinion, the best mid laner in the entire world. I think he's been that for a couple of years now. But one thing that's always gotten me about Chovy is his itemization. Last year, for example, he popularized the tank Azir build with Grasp of the Undying in mid lane and things like Frozen Heart and Abyssal Mask on Azir. I thought that was really bad because Azir, given his hyperscaling damage output, kind of wants to build damage items. Then in this year, he popularized Riley's Crystal Scepter on Azir. He also popularized this year Rod of Ages spam on literally every single champion he played. Azir, Annie, Aurora, you name it, he probably built Rod of Ages on it. And it got a lot of people, if not most mid laners around the world, doing the same thing, until a lot of people started to realize that if you build this item, you're not really doing all that much damage. But the thing that gets me is that Chovy played Ziggs today against Hanwha and he even built Rod of Ages on Ziggs. Now, especially in a game like this, where you have a Yorick, a Pantheon, and a Jhin on your team, you have to be pumping out damage as the AP threat on your team. Otherwise, enemy team can just stack armor and be completely invincible. AKA, as Ziggs, you need to be doing crazy damage. Build Ludens, build Leandries into health stackers, be doing large bursts and chunks of damage with your Qs, with your ults. You know, the argument for Roa, I guess, is you have more health and you might be able to survive longer. But with how stompy this game was, I'm not sure it entirely mattered. Roa didn't really help him survive anything. And I think it would have been a much better use of his gold to spend it on damage and just trying to do as much damage as he can before he inevitably died. So I think that overall, Roa is just a very, very overpurchased item. I don't really see the benefit of it almost ever unless you're playing someone who really, really utilizes it well, like Ryze. But overall, the itemization from Chovy, throughout his entire career really, but over the last few years especially, has always just gotten me. That a player of this caliber, a player that's this good at League of Legends, just can't seem to figure out how to itemize, how to want to do damage with his builds. And I get wanting to be innovative, I get being a trendsetter around the world when you're as good as he is. But these builds that he's been doing, from the tank Azir to the Rod of Ages spam on every champion, just is not very good. Like I said, one of the greatest mid laners of all time. And by the time he retires, he'll probably be one of the greatest players of all time. But just his itemization always gets me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.